Hey guys, I'm Googie, and today I'm going to make this video about this guy who apparently has a work wife. Well, he has one wife at home and one at work. It's a new thing, right? I guess it's a new thing in 2020. So let me share you this Reddit post. Feel like my husband had an emotional affair, and he says it was just his work wife. Wow, okay. Um, this lady apparently feels very duped, which is understandable. And the facts are they've been married for 5 months. He worked with this lady for 1.5 years and only found out about this emotional affair 2 months ago. And when she asked about the emotional affair, he just blamed it as her coldness. Wow, how is that cold? If you're just asking about someone at your work, if someone's just asking you about like a coworker, like why would this guy have an enormous problem talking about it? And how's that even cold? Wait, hold on. Actually, I think there's something much bigger than that this lady might not know yet, but will eventually figure it out. You know, man, you're just lying by omission. You might as well just tell the truth because she's going to figure it out anyways, and it will be much worse when she figures it out if you didn't just tell her yourself. Well, it seemed like this guy worked with someone who is 15 years younger than him named Cheryl, and they seem to be like in love. Now, Cheryl is also married, by the way, so keep that in mind. But apparently, they've been flirting a lot, and the day when she leaves the company, then this guy buys her like a very expensive gift on his own tab. But then when his wife figures out about the expensive gift, he says it was a collective effort that the company bought her the gift together, that people were chipping in. But she has a suspicion, like why is it that he's the one who bought it? Like why was it on his tab? Like why not the company's tab? Which I guess is like very understandable. Usually like when a company buys a gift for someone together, like collectively, like everybody usually just chips in a little bit of money, but the company buys it under their tab. So after this, so apparently after they got married, this guy set up a PC like in their house. There's a PC that this guy uses for work, and she would normally like just use it sometimes, but she just happened to stumble upon his email with Cheryl that had a lot of hearts as the preview, so that already seems like it's a flirtatious email right on the spot. But sometimes people's curiosity just catches them and they're really interested. Like this lady probably already had a bit of a suspicion already, so it would make sense that she would want to see what all those hearts and flirtatious email is all about. You wouldn't believe it. When she opened the email, he called her by a nickname. Like, like how people give their girlfriends nicknames and stuff like that. And there were many emails going out on how much they miss each other over the weekends. And he said he wasn't ready to lose her. Okay, I can understand. Maybe you miss someone as a friend and you just send them a nice little text or email that says that you miss them and that you miss like hanging out with them, and maybe like you can hang out again in the future. But I wasn't ready to lose you, really. Like that's something like on a different level. It's like romantic. You wouldn't like say that to a friend. Like, oh yeah, I'm not ready to lose you. And apparently they had fights like how couples usually do. Like, and I don't know like what specifically the fight was about, but there was one fight where she even took his jacket and like refused to give it back for a while. Like that's a real intimate fight. Like usually when you're fighting with a friend, like you wouldn't take their stuff and like decide not to give it back unless you're like immature, or unless like maybe like younger kids might do that too. But as adults, no, that wouldn't happen between friends. And when he was confronted on his second wife, he said that Cheryl had just been a close friend, a work wife, a work wife. Nah, can you guys believe that? This guy has like two wives, and he said it was just a silly fantasy to get them both through the job because they hated working there. All right, all right. What an excuse. Like, you could have played Minecraft as a fantasy, you could have played Witcher 3 as a fantasy, but to have a separate work relationship, well, that's your fantasy that you use to get through the day. Oh, all right. I mean, it does make sense that relationships form over work, and sometimes because like that's where you spend most of your time, and you might find a significant other there. But like if you're married, that's not acceptable, and that's the person you're married to like is okay with it, which in many cases they're probably not going to be okay with it. But should have had that conversation, man. And he claims this lady was more affectionate than his wife, kind of saying like, "Oh yeah, like this lady's like better than you because she was just touching his arm and giving him hugs." He claims that he wasn't looking for anything, and she was the one who started it. Bro, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're participating. Like you didn't just say like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a wife." Like it doesn't matter. So this so his wife told him to block Cheryl on Facebook, which he did without any problem. But his wife also sent a message to Cheryl's husband to say like, basically say like, "Hey, you know your wife's been cheating on you, right? Like Cheryl's been cheating on you." To which this man replied like, "Thanks for letting me know. I've actually known all along. My wife doesn't want him. He's all yours." Wow. And Cheryl just said like, "Oh yeah, I don't want this guy." Well, no, wait. Maybe that's just an excuse that she fed her husband, and her husband is blind to the reality because he's blinded by love, and he doesn't want to see it as what it really is. But when you take some time, step back, and like look at it from an objective standpoint, you'll realize like none of the excuses will make sense, and the person who's making the excuses after cheating is actually like just making their position worse. Wow, even if he does know that she's cheating, how can he be okay with it? I mean, unless he's also doing the same thing, and like maybe they don't really care as much because like they might have an open relationship and maybe they both agree to it, but I doubt that's the case. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the story in the comment space. If you like this video, please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, bell notifications, and share. I'm Googie!